Hey, Andrew here for MIIXtablet.com. I'm at the booth from Lenovo at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona right now, and in front of me is the Lenovo MIIX 630, which is a Windows tablet with an ARM chip. It's a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835, so it's one of the first Windows tablets that will be available in May with an ARM processor, Windows on ARM. And the special thing about it is that Lenovo, Microsoft and Qualcomm promise us 20 hours of battery life, which is quite a lot for a Windows device, and it's really will be interesting to see if it can hold up to that. Another specialty is that it has LTE built-in, standard LTE is built in, and it supports an eSIM, electronic SIM, so you don't have to change SIM cards if you are changing the provider, or if you're traveling and getting prepaid data SIMs and so on. You don't have to change the SIM card. I saw a demo from Microsoft and Asus at Computex last year where you could choose the data plan in the Microsoft store, which is certainly interesting. And right now you can see here it's getting ready to connect to a Spanish mobile operator. All right, on here runs Windows 10s, that's the standard, which means that you can only install apps from the Microsoft Store, so only the store apps. You can change it to Windows 10 Pro for free, but standard seems to be Windows 10s. And the store apps should run pretty much similar to an Intel processor. There shouldn't be any performance differences because they're just built that way. But if you want to install typical desktop applications like Chrome, like Adobe Photoshop and so on, then you have to switch to Windows 10 Pro. And those apps, those programs are emulated because they're written for another architecture, not for the ARM architecture. And I was so free to install Chrome here just to try it out, and I didn't notice any major differences compared to other Windows devices. Chrome seems to work fine here. I'm on tabletblog.de and here on MIIXtablet.com, and it seems to work fine. I was seeing some minor lagging when scrolling, but I'm not sure if that's due to the bad internet connection here. Right now, as you can see, everything works fine except that stuff is not loaded, but that's really because of the internet here. And yeah, we have to see if we can, once we can really review it, really test it, how the performance of those legacy desktop applications is. Will run Photoshop on here? Will Adobe Premiere Pro run on here? That's really something that we have to try out once it is available. All right, let's take a look at the hardware first. We've got a 12.3-inch screen here with a full HD resolution of 1920 by 1080. Inside is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835. It's an octa-core chip, and in this one we've got 8 GB of RAM, but you will be able to get it with just 4 GB of RAM as well. And the SSD has a capacity of 256 GB. And everything else here is standard Windows. It works just like normal Windows. On the top here we've got a webcam and an infrared camera, so you unlock this not using a fingerprint reader, but with your face using Windows Hello. Let's go around the device a bit. I will disconnect it from the keyboard. We will take a closer look at it soon. And yeah, we've got black bezels around here. That's kind of standard. You see a lot of fingerprints here, but that's because I'm at a trade show and a lot of people are playing with it. On the bottom, we've got a connector for the keyboard. On this side, we've got one single USB Type-C port, a speaker, volume rockers. On the top, we've got a power button and a couple of microphones. And then here we've got a micro SD card slot, another speaker, and an audio port, so there really is just one USB Type-C port. On the back we've got a camera, a little plastic strip here for the antennas, but everything else is aluminium. And it looks high-end and it feels well built, but it is not comfortable. I've only played with it a bit now, but it really is not comfortable to hold because it has really sharp edges. I don't know if you can imagine that, but it has really sharp edges and it just doesn't feel comfortable. It's cutting in your hand a bit, and I wouldn't want to watch a movie with it on the sofa holding it like this. It gets really uncomfortable because the edges are just too sharp. It has to be rounded at least a little bit, but it really feels uncomfortable. So that's really something Lenovo should change with the next generation. I really don't like holding it. It's just not comfortable. Then we've got the keyboard cover here, which actually is great. As you've seen, there's no kickstand built in, like with the Surface Pro or the Lenovo MIIX 520, for example. But we get this keyboard cover, and that one has a kickstand built in. And usually I don't like it because the Huawei MateBook has a similar design, the Samsung Galaxy Books have a similar design as well, and it's just not stable enough. But Lenovo actually did a really good job here. The kickstand feels quite sturdy, and you can connect it magnetically like this. But the most important feature that Huawei and Samsung are kind of lacking is this magnetic bar here that we are used to from a lot of Windows tablets. So you can angle it up a bit, and then it's more stable on your lap and more comfortable to type. The keyboard itself is a standard chiclet style keyboard, and not a lot of differences compared to other keyboards of this kind. We've got a relatively large touchpad on the bottom. It's certainly larger than the one from the Lenovo MIIX 520 with an Intel Core 8th Gen processor that I reviewed already, and the touchpad is a bit better here. Obviously you can all close it up, and then the tablet is protected. Another accessory is the pen here, and Lenovo has an awesome pen called the Lenovo Active Pen 2 that supports 4096 pressure points and is very similar to the Surface Pen or the recent S Pen from Samsung. It's a really nice pen, but this is not the Lenovo Active Pen 2. This one supports 1024 pressure points only, so it does not support as many pressure points, and it seems to be precise, like where you draw, but yeah, you won't have that many pressure points. And what I noticed is usually companies pre-install some apps to demonstrate the pen, to show the features of the pen, but that's not the case here, and I'm pretty sure that's because usually it runs Windows 10s, so you can't install typical desktop applications that support the pen, like maybe Photoshop, like Autodesk, like those drawing apps. The only thing I found that's pre-installed is Paint 3D, and while you can do some drawing on here, it does not support any pressure sensitivity, so the pen does not get thicker or what if you press harder on it. So it works just like a standard stylus. So I can't really demonstrate the special features of this pen. It has two buttons here. There's a battery inside if you disconnect it here, and then you have to put it back together, which I probably will do now. So yeah, 20 hours of battery life is promised with Windows on ARM. And eSIM sounds interesting. 20 hours battery life sounds really interesting. I would like to have a Windows device with such a large battery, but we have to see how the performance of those legacy apps, desktop applications like Chrome, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, all those apps, some drivers maybe, how they perform on an ARM chip, on this emulation that's built into it. All the Microsoft Store apps like Edge and whatever you find in the Microsoft Store, I don't use that many apps from that. They should work like usual because they are just built that way. Alright, that's just the first impression and hands-on with the Lenovo MIIX 630. It should be available sometime in May this year, and it will certainly be interesting to see reviews of it. And yeah, I will do my best to review it once it is released as well, because 20 hours battery life, as I said, sounds really interesting. And yeah, it seems to be a nice tablet mostly, but I just say it again, it's really not comfortable to hold. Like, I really just don't like these really rough, sharp edges. That's really not comfortable to hold. If you want to do that, you shouldn't get this one. Alright, that's a quick hands-on. If you've got any questions, just write them down below. I'm NJ from mynexttablet.com. Thanks for watching.